when did your mindset go from, oh, this is something fun I like to do to, stay fit and everything and hang out with friends to, oh, wow, I want to play, in college and I want to keep pursuing this career?
Middle school, I was playing basketball and baseball, and I was horrible at both of those.
Love that.
And I was okay at soccer, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to focus. I'll never forget my freshman year preseason. It felt so cool.
What do you mean cool?
We were there before all the students, and we would wake up, practice, come back, hang out with all soccer players.
Okay, give me your emotions during that whole conversation.
I was probably playing it cool.
Yeah, for sure. You're like, let me be a professional right now when you're jumping inside your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It was pretty exciting.
Welcome back to the Next Gen podcast. Today I have a very exciting episode. I know that I say that every time, but this time we have our first professional on the show today. Season 2, we're throwing at you international students. We're throwing professionals. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. So welcome. Today I'd like to welcome Nathan Durdle. Thank you for being here today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So today Nate's a Comets player with the KC Comets. I've talked about this a lot on the show. I'm interning with the team. I'm on my second year now doing game-based stuff. And we hadn't actually gotten a chance to meet or anything like that. So this was a great, the sales team brought him to me basically. And we're like, you needed to get a Comets guy on the team. Rookie season from the area. Talk to Nate. So here we are. Before we dive into everything, I always like to start off with just little icebreakers. Just get you into it, whatever. There's no wrong answers. But I will judge you.
Okay, yeah.
So that sounds a little nervous. You're going to be fine. What would be your lucky number?
I've never had a lucky number.
No?
But I'll
What's
pick
your jersey
one.
number?
Right now, it's 18. But if
Okay.
I was going to pick a lucky number, I'd pick 16.
Why?
That was my first jersey number.
That's cute. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay. Who has been your biggest influence on your athletic career?
I think it would be Licia from the team because we went to school together, and he kind of changed the way I thought about training outside of practice. And
How
all that.
so? What did he change about your mindset?
I just saw how hard he worked, and I was like, yeah. And I noticed when I got there, because he's a little older, I was a freshman, I was like, this guy's amazing. I was like, I want to be like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any superstitions? I feel like athletes either have 100 things they have to do a certain way, or they have they don't care. Do you have anything specific
I don't
you
have
do?
anything.
You just go out and play?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And then do you have a most memorable game or your favorite game you've ever played in your career? It could be a little league game, it could be your first Comets game, whatever is just the number one game you want to go back and relive.
I don't remember the year. I think I was a junior in college.
Okay.
We were playing against Lindsey Wilson. I had a hat trick.
Oh nice. Yeah, that's a fair one to want to remember. And then last one before we go back in time and talk about your start of your career, what would be your all-time dream team to play for?
Barcelona, when they had Neymar, Suarez, Messi up top.
Big aspirations right there.
Yeah.
A little different than indoor too.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I do want to talk about that later. I was looking into, obviously I have to do a little bit of research, a little stalking before we do these. So I was looking at, your career so far, and it didn't look like a lot of indoor experience, at least online it didn't. So I want to get into, how you got into that. But first let's talk about, your day one soccer memories. When did you start playing?
I was probably 7 years old.
Okay.
I just moved to Columbia and just joined a rec team.
Just for fun?
Yeah, just for fun.
Why not?
Yeah.
So when did you start pursuing soccer at when did your mindset go from, oh, this is something fun I like to do to, stay fit and everything and hang out with friends to, oh, wow, I want to play, in college and I want to keep pursuing this career?
It was middle school. I was playing basketball and baseball, and I was horrible at both of those.
Love that.
And I was okay at soccer, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to focus on
Why do you
soccer.
think that is, that was the thing that you just naturally had some talent for?
I think I had the most fun with it.
Okay.
So
You could play a little looser.
yeah.
Fair enough. So then when you did start, trying to pursue it a little bit more, how did your training change? What did you kind of do to make that your primary sport that you were really focusing in on?
It was, since it was the only sport I was doing, it was the only practice I had
Right.
throughout the week, so it just took a lot of my focus, and then I would start to train a little more outside of practice.
When you were playing high school ball, how did you start looking for those college reps, those college opportunities?
I actually wasn't sure if I was going to play.
Why?
Because my mom, she was working at Mizzou,
Mm-hmm.
and she worked there my whole, like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I was going to get free tuition there. So,
That's a
and
fair
all my
go.
friends were going there, and I was like, yeah, I mean.
So are you an MU fan?
No, not really.
I go to KU, so like, all right, that's a.
I'm not into any other sports.
I mean, I was gonna ask you to leave if you liked MU, so
No,
I'm
fair.
glad you said you.
That's
you
fair.
don't. Okay, good. Well, how did you get your? I'm trying to look. Where? I don't even think I wrote down what team you played for. I have lots of things, but I don't have what school you went to. Where did you go to school?
I went to Columbia College in
Okay.
Columbia.
So how did you end up there?
So yeah, so my senior year, my mom then moved
Mm-hmm.
out of Columbia, and so I couldn't go to Mizzou anymore.
Got it.
But Columbia College obviously is right down the road, so I've always done stuff with them and camps and stuff. And I knew their coach,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew their coach's son, and so they offered me. Same with CMU and Fayette,
Nice.
and I just chose Columbia College.
Just felt right for you.
Yeah,
What did it look like for you to be a college athlete? How did you manage your time?
it actually. I'll never forget my freshman year preseason. It felt so cool.
What do you mean cool?
We were there before all the students,
Mhm.
and we would wake up, practice, come back, hang out, all soccer players, then practice again, go to bed. And it just felt so nice. The whole campus was empty. We got the lunch,
Yeah.
and so that was sick. But no, it was an easy adjustment, I'd say.
That's good.
Yeah.
How did you manage, like, having two full-time jobs, being an athlete and also still being a student? Did you have any, time management issues or struggled in classes or anything like that, or just breezed right through?
I think with Columbia College being such a small school, like we had to go to class, and our coach was always on. Like if you skip class, you're like one of 7 people in the class, and everyone's
Right.
gonna know.
If you didn't play sports and you were just going to college and just being a student, do you think, like, basically did soccer kind of keep you in line going to classes? How would your college experience be different if you weren't playing at the same time?
Yeah, college saved me. Or I mean,
Yeah.
soccer saved me. I'm not a big fan of school.
Me neither.
I had
Neither.
to do it.
Right? Okay, so post-graduation, did you know that you wanted to continue playing soccer, or, when you were like, oh, shoot, I'm graduating soon, what am I going to do now?
That I had no idea.
All right?
I started working,
Okay.
and I thought that was it. I was like, I graduated in December, not this December, but the one before.
Like 2023?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just got a job, and I
Alright.
hated it.
Okay, why'd you hate it?
It was just, I mean, the people there were great before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to disrespect them,
Yeah.
but it was like great people. I think I just missed soccer. Like
Yeah.
I was so used to just waking up practice every day, and it was like motivated me every day.
So
And
how
then-
did you get back into soccer and, get out for tryouts and everything with the Comets?
It was Licia.
All right.
Yeah.
He just brought you in and said, you're going to do this?
Yeah.
All right, so give me a little, like, day in your life kind of tryouts and everything like that. How did you handle the stress of this is something I really want to achieve, and how'd you get there?
It was in October. I was coming up like for 3 days at a time and going back to Columbia, and I was really nervous. But just talked to the older people, asked for advice.
Yeah.
And each day,
What was it like, meeting all the guys on the team and trying to get to know them and, make friendships with everyone? Tell me a little bit of, like, I guess some of your best experiences with getting to know everyone.
it was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Really?
Well, I knew a couple people already, so then I instantly was friends with them, and then they had their friends. We would go do stuff. I remember we had a little group that would go golfing,
Oh, cute.
like that.
Okay. What did tryouts look like? What would you give as, like, if anyone was trying to go through that process to become a, professional soccer player, what would you tell them, like, this is what you should expect?
Intensity.
Okay.
It's very intense,
Yeah.
and then it's a lot of doing more, especially when you're trying out
Uh-huh.
and you're new, never played indoor, no one knows you.
Right.
You have to do more, you have to work a lot harder, and
Is that your first time playing indoor?
yeah.
Okay, so how did you even, like, make that transition?
It was a lot. I'm still learning, to
Right.
be honest.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
yeah, it was just go, see all the veteran players, see how they're moving around the field, and try to adapt.
Why didn't you think about looking at an MLS team or another outdoor league if that was kind of, your expertise?
I just didn't have any connections. I didn't make any connections. That's on me.
Well, yeah, I mean, in sports, it really is all who you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the number one thing I've learned from this podcast is everyone says, oh, yeah, it was a, mutual connection to get me where I am now. Do you, I guess, regret that at all, or are you just loving the indoor world and want to stick to that?
I don't regret it. It would have been nice.
Yeah.
But I like indoor.
You don't have to worry about the weather.
Yeah, exactly.
That was always my number one thing when I played indoor soccer. I was like, no rain today. We know that's not happening. So, tell me a little bit about your rookie season debut. Give me the weeks. Okay, well, let's start off with when you got the call. How did you find out you were on the team?
How I made the team?
Yeah.
It was, so I went to maybe 9 preseason practices in October, and I would have meetings with the coach after every 5 or 4.
Yeah.
And he would say I like what you're doing. I just want to see more. Okay. And so I would come back again, same thing. And then he invited me to preseason, which was an extended trial.
Right.
And so he was I'll let you know at the end of preseason. So each time it was battling. Each day was battling.
For sure.
And
you
so
win your spot.
Yeah. And then the last day of preseason came, and I went in for a meeting with him. He said, "Hey, you've done really well. We want you to be a part of the team."
Mm-hmm. Okay, give me your emotions during that whole conversation.
I was probably playing it cool.
Yeah, for sure. You're let me be a professional right now when you're jumping inside your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It was pretty exciting.
Nice. Did you celebrate it all? How'd you go home and break the news to friends, family, your friends that were previously on the team?
I was going back to Columbia right after, so I had an hour and 40 minutes. I called everybody.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. What kind of responses did you get?
They were all happy. They all believed in me.
Yeah.
And I was relieved to tell them that I made it.
So how'd you make your transition from Columbia to moving to Kansas City? What did the team help you with? What did you have to figure out on your own?
It was actually really nice. They gave us, there's 8 of us in apartments, fully furnished.
They're so nice.
Yeah,
I talk to the
great.
sales guys about those all the time. When are you going to hook me up? Damn.
They're great. Yeah. So it was easy. It was 2 car loads.
Perfect.
Just clothes.
Yeah. It's an easy drive. You're not too far away. What guys do you live with?
I live with Leo Costa.
Oh, perfect.
There's 2 bedrooms.
Nice.
And then just in our building is Zach, Chad, Danny, DB, Junior, and Philip.
So a bunch of you.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's great.
Right. So what does, off the field life look like for you guys? Are you hanging out with the team 24/7, or do you still have your own separate group of friends?
I still have my own. I go to Columbia quite often. They like to make fun of me for that, but
you gotta go home sometimes.
Yeah. No, a lot of the guys work after. So.
I don't know how they do that. Do you have anything outside of soccer right now, or you're just
not right
focusing
now? Wednesdays for a little bit. I've had practice with Chris Andreos.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's been great. Just 1 hour on Wednesday, but I go to that and that's fun. But besides that, I hang out at the apartment. The gym there is pretty nice too.
Nice.
So we go there.
It's convenient to have.
Yeah.
So give me, you make the team, you start practicing with everyone, you get to live with the guys. How did the start of the season go for you? Your first game. Give me that game day, nerves, excitement. Walk me through what it was like in your head before. Okay, I'm about to step on the field for my first professional game. We have biggest ticket sales in the MASL.
Yeah.
I'm walking out to this great environment. How'd you feel?
I was so nervous.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So the first game was away in St. Louis, and I went to the game and warmed up. But I didn't end up playing.
Okay.
And so then I talked with the coach. He said, "Be ready for our home opener."
Okay.
And so after he said that, I was already nervous.
Right.
So I was doing anything to calm myself down. I was looking up videos on how to calm down.
Out. Dude, so I usually stand when you guys are all doing the walkout with the smoke and the little firework things they do, which is
Yeah.
terrifies me, first of all. I'm like, this has to be a fire hazard. But I stand there and get some social content and, you know, give fist bumps to the guys or whatever. If you're standing in the tunnel, like, are you not just, like psyching yourself out? Because that's what I'm doing, and I'm not even running out in the field and no one's looking at me. So give me that, like, what's going through your head? Everyone's back there. They're jumping around. They're waiting for their name to be called. What's that feel like to you?
Now it's not too bad.
Right.
Like, it's pretty calm back there. Like, everyone's getting ready.
Right.
So some people are silent. Some people like to be loud. And I'm kind of silent. Okay. Just ready to go. All right. But the first time I was the only thing I was thinking of, like, if I better not run out here and fall.
That's always what I'm afraid of. We had one game last year, the teddy bear toss.
Yeah.
And I was helping pick up teddy bears, and I just kept getting, like, chucked in the face because, like, the people in the front row were not thinking about the fact that, like, oh, she is 3 feet away from me. I don't need to, you know. And that was the whole time I was thinking, like, everyone is watching me right now.
Yeah.
Do you ever during the game get those feelings of, like, there's a lot of eyes on me, or you're locked in and you're just playing your game?
No, I don't really think about the fans. Okay. Really. And, like, when I look up there, I can't even, like, focus on one single person. All it just looks like a blur.
Right.
But. All
right, so you started playing. Tell me about the start of your season. So far, you know, you've played in 5 games, 6 games now? We literally just talked about this, and I was like, I think my
like
stats are right.
5.5.
Okay, so you've played in 5.5 games, 3 goals, 1 assist, no penalties. First of all, penalties is a little bit different. Can you give me the indoor to outdoor, penalties, power play differences? Similarities, I guess. Like, compare them a little bit.
Well, outdoor is pretty standard. Like, if you foul someone in the box, it's just that PK shot from that line, just you and the goalie, your team around. This one, and I'm still learning all of them.
Right.
This one, like, you can do the shootout where you roll it, and, like, it's 5 seconds to score 1v1, which is way harder than the outdoor.
I thought that would be easier.
Than outdoor? Mm-hmm. No. I think it's way harder.
Why?
The goalies just cover up the whole goal.
It's fair. Like, is the goal the same size? I feel like it's smaller in indoor.
Oh, yeah. Way smaller.
Okay. So how have you had to adjust your play? You know, what's kind of things in the indoor game that you've had to be like, oh, wait, these are, you know, little things I need to implement in how I'm playing well?
My first thing was using the bottom of my foot to receive the ball.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that different?
There's not a lot of space in indoor. Mm-hmm. So even if, like, you have a good touch with, like, the inside of your foot and it's, like, a foot away from you, that's, like, too far away. That's if someone's right on you.
Yeah.
So if you, like, on the bottom of your foot, it's right under you, and then from there you can move it either way.
What about, like, the bounces off the wall?
Those, I don't do those too much, but those are good.
Maybe
and reading the wall. So, like, when our strikers have it and they turn and bang it off the wall towards the box, those are hard to read. That's something I need to work on.
That's something I'm always watching, and I expect the ball to go one way, and it just doesn't. I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad I'm not out there because I would have ran the complete wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
So now that you're a couple games in, how did you kind of build up that confidence to just, like, play your game and not think about everything else that's going on?
Still building it each game.
Right.
It's a lot of talking with the older players, the coach, like those guys. They instill confidence. And actually, the coach said something to me last weekend. He was like, if I have confidence in you to be out here on this, then why wouldn't you have confidence in yourself?
It's a great point.
Yeah.
When he said that to you, what went through your head?
I was like, I mean, that's right.
Yeah.
That's 100% true.
That'd be totally, like, a validating statement to me. Yeah. Like, oh, like, he put me here for a reason, right? You know? Position-wise, have you always played the same position, or have you, like, moved around a little bit?
I've played every position.
What's your favorite?
I like midfield.
Yeah.
Like in indoor specifically only?
Either one.
Outdoor I started, like, when I was a kid, I was a defender. Mm-hmm. Then I slowly moved up, and I was more of, like, a winger, striker. And then by the end of my career, I was a center mid.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea.
Just where you landed, you know? Like,
yeah.
See, I always thought, first of all, center midfielders have to be psycho, because you want to be running that far.
No, but that's one thing I did like about it when I switched. Like, I can go anywhere and get the ball.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Whereas, like, if you're a striker, like, you're just isolated up there.
Right. How do you handle, you know, indoor has a little bit different subs process.
it was confusing at first, but like that October before preseason, like all we did was play, and so like then after that I got the subbing down.
Okay.
And now it's pretty easy.
Do you guys have like set lines of like guys who go out together, or does it switch every single time?
It's each position has a line, a rotation.
Okay.
So like in my midfield position, there's 3 of us. And for the past couple of games, it's been Acosta, me, Junior. And so Acosta will start the game, and I'll be watching the game, and I'll be watching him like mainly.
Right.
If he starts running over, then I go in.
Okay.
And then the next guy, like Junior, he'll be watching the game and watching me, and when I run out, he'll run in.
Okay.
And then it just goes in rotation like that.
So you set your own subs pretty much?
Yeah.
How do you know, like, see, I would not be good at that. I would be like, I don't care that I'm dying out here. I want some time. How are you able to, like, share that time with your teammates?
Well, the coach makes it pretty clear that that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. They usually feel pretty normal, like, okay, I defended, I attacked, maybe I defended again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty tired. Let's get some, like, this guy's waiting. He's fresh. Let's get him in.
Perfect. All right. Is there anyone on the team that you hope that your shift kind of lines up with perfectly, that you're like, yes, I play really well, you know, getting assists or giving assists to this guy?
I don't know. I don't want to say Licia. I mean, Licia, I would say, because I played with him the longest.
Chemistry with, then, yeah.
But yeah, he's been injured. But if I had to pick, I would pick him. But I don't know.
Is there... See, guys are so funny because you guys just have no drama. You're all just, like, there to do your thing.
Yeah.
Has there been any, like, issues on the team? Obviously, don't use names or anything, where you were just like, oh, this doesn't feel like a team right now. This feels like there's some sort of animosity that you guys have had to, like, overcome together.
Nothing crazy, no.
Okay.
Just normal competitiveness, I would say.
Do you think competitiveness can get in the way of building, like, a team relationship?
It can, but it's... Like, there's a lot of competitive people on the team, which is
obviously.
Good.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's the balance of like, okay, we're scrimmaging in practice, be competitive. After, we're friends again.
Fair
and
enough.
Everyone pretty much does that pretty well.
I've heard that a lot in soccer, that you guys are very, you know, on the field going at it, and then, you know, Buddy isn't getting a beer right after.
Yeah.
So we play Utica this weekend.
Yeah.
This episode will come out next week, but so after the game, so we'll have some updates I can have Easton throw in for us. Is there anything you guys are doing specifically to get ready to play Utica?
No, we kind of have a similar style each time.
Okay.
Depending on the team.
Is there any team in the league that you specifically like have to prepare for differently?
Yeah, I know Empire. They do something very different.
What do they do?
With their goalie, they always bring their goalie up,
mm-hmm.
and so they're always playing with an extra guy.
Yeah.
So that was a little different. Chihuahua, they move it really well, and so I mean we didn't really prepare that different. It's just like be ready.
Right.
It's kind of be ready for every team. Work hard.
Makes sense. The Comets had a phenomenal season last season. First of all, were you a Comets fan before joining the team?
I knew about the Comets.
Okay.
Because of
more than me, I did not know about them.
Yeah. But I watched a couple games because of my old teammates on the team.
Yeah. Okay. So you have that to fall back on.
Yeah.
So, like, I had never heard of the Comets. And then the guys obviously share an office with us and came up one day and were like, hey, do you like soccer? Here's 20 free tickets.
Yeah.
And then, hey, here's a media pass. We want you to come do game day operations stuff. I knew nothing. What have you learned about any of like that back administration office, you know, Bud or, you know, anyone behind the scenes, the PA guys that you have like built a relationship with?
Oh man, I think I'm still too new to know any of that stuff.
Hey, that's how I feel too when they were like, oh, talk to the new guy. I was like, wait, which one is that? Like, gotta figure it out. But then I figured it out once I saw pictures and was like, yeah, okay. So this weekend, what will your game day schedule look like? You know, game is, I think it's 6:05, maybe. So what will your preparations look like for getting ready for that game?
Me specifically?
Yeah.
Sleep in.
Fair.
I do enjoy sleeping in.
Me too.
And try to get like a healthy, full, filling breakfast.
Okay. What's that look like usually for you?
Like eggs, a lot of eggs, to be honest, and maybe like some type of like potato, like diced potatoes or something.
All right.
Yeah.
And then do you eat again before the game, or do you wait it out?
For that game, I would eat again.
Okay.
A little closer. But we have to be there 2 hours before.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. If I wake up at 9:30, eat at 10, I'd probably eat again at 2.
Okay.
2 or 3, and then just probably even the same thing.
All right. And then just head on over to Cable Dahmer?
Yeah.
So once you get there, what do you guys do to get ready for the game?
When we get there, we go straight to the locker room, and we'll put like our practice gear on, or our warm-up gear, and put music on.
Of course.
And then just kind of hang out.
You have a pre-game song that's like it's gonna pump you up no matter what.
No, I'm not on the music.
All right. Who is on aux for you guys in the locker room?
Neto, Nicolau Neto.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I would have thought it was Nacho. I don't know why.
No, I'm sure he suggests songs.
Probably.
Everybody does, but Neto always brings a speaker.
Okay.
I mean, it does good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. So give me your hypothetical situation. Obviously, we hope it doesn't happen. You're down 2-3 goals going into halftime. What does coach's speech look like?
It's intense.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
Okay, like what's he like? Come on, get your butts working. What is he doing? What's he saying that's going to help you guys succeed for that second half of the game?
I think it would be similar to what he said to me was,
like, I believe in you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, show me what you've showed me before, and be that team that I know you guys can be.
Right.
Like a lot of motivating, and some strategic stuff that maybe we missed.
Okay.
But yeah.
What kind of like strategy things do you have to think about going into certain games? Like, do you think, oh gosh, like this team is really quick, so we should do X? Give me like the cheat sheet of how to be a successful soccer player.
Let's say a team's really quick and their movement is really good, right?
Okay.
Like, we'll watch film on them and see, like, okay, this specific player is always passing and then making the same run or a similar run. And so, like, if you end up on him, just don't lose him.
All right.
So it's a lot of, like, mentally preparing to be focused in the game, because any, like, lack of concentration, even for a second, and indoor, that's a big thing that's different.
Right.
Like 1 second can change if that guy's going to score or not. So it's a lot of staying focused.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there, again, obviously the Comets did very good last season. Going to the championship, not coming out on top. Is there any extra added pressure to be like, all right, our team made it to playoffs last year, was very successful, wasn't quite as successful as we could have been. This year we want to do that again, but even better.
I don't think it's pressure. It's more motivation.
Okay.
Like in our first team meeting, there was a timestamp that our coach used in his team talk. It was 5 minutes and 4 seconds.
Why?
Which that was, I believe, was left in the game where the game we ended up losing because of 5 minutes and 4 seconds lack of concentration at that time, and they scored. So he often says, like, not pressure, but prove to the league that we weren't just there on a fluke. Like, this is our team. Like, this is what we do.
Do you have any, like, guesses on how this season's going to go? Like, how well do you think the team is going to perform in the postseason this year?
I think we're going to do great.
I do too. Yeah. I think you guys have seen now what, obviously not you, but everyone else has seen what postseason looks like, the extra intensity that's added onto it. Yeah. They've had a touch. They've gotten just a little taste of success and being a champion. And I think you guys all have the skill, the motivation, the energy, the coaching staff, the fan base to make it to the championships. Obviously, that's the goal this year. If you were playing in a game like that, would there be any extra added nerves or, changes to your own personal game that you would have to think about going in, or just, go out and play your game?
I think most people would say there's some nerves. Like, I would say those games bring more nerves, which is, I think.
That's normal.
Yeah. But that's when the veterans coach will be like, tell everybody, like, play your game. Just
Right.
It's another game. We did all season. We're gonna come out and play the same way that we've been doing and try to calm things down.
Something in soccer specifically that always interests me is that you count assists as like your personal stats. When you're looking at your own stats, do you think how do those assists on there affect you? Is that like oh shoot, I should have been the one to score, or hey, I got to help my teammate out?
I like either equally.
Right?
Yeah.
So in your head, an assist is an assist in your head just as satisfying as having the goal yourself?
I guess it depends on the assist. Because like let's say I pass it to Rion and he dribbles around 3 people. I just made a simple pass to his feet and he dribbled 3 people and scored. Okay. I gave it to him, but I didn't really create an opportunity for a goal.
But if you laid it up for him, then you can feel proud of it for yourself. All right, I like that. I told you earlier, we are getting close on our time now, so let's start wrapping up. I told you earlier we need to start working on my bingo board. Last season of the show, I did not get a bingo. This season, I really would like to. Do you have anything you can add to my board? Anything you want to? Again, it could be personal career. It could be Comets related for the season, or it could be just like, hey, I like KU basketball. I hope KU does well. Whatever you're feeling.
I'm going to do a Nathan Durdle hat trick.
Hat trick. I like that. This season?
This season.
All right. Let's put it down, and we'll be watching. I think that is about, I just totally spelled that wrong. Hat trick. Awesome. That is all I got unless you have anything else. Let's close out with, if you have anyone out there who is growing up and playing soccer and they want to get to the same level that you have, been successful in, what would you tell them to do?
I would say the biggest thing is start to fall in love and having fun with the extra work and trying to get better.
I like that. The training's important too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Nathan, thanks for being here today. I had a blast. Everyone out there listening, we'll catch you next time. We have a couple Comets interviews lined up for you, so a little bit of a little series on that. Make sure you follow Nathan Alec D on Instagram. We'll, of course, tag him per usual, as well as KC Comets. And until next time, make it out to a Comets game. If you're in Kansas City, we can hook you up with some tickets, whatever, and come out. It's a blast. It is. I had never heard about the Comets until I had met the sales guys, like I've said 100 times, and they will tell you that it is the number one experience in Kansas City, even if you're not a soccer fan. So come on out, guys, and we will catch you guys next time with another interview. We'll see you later.